ever watch a man die?
Can't say that.
No.
New topic then. Tim Apple.
Tim Apple, Jesus Christ.
That was really funny.
Fucking Tim Apple, dude, I swear to God.
That was really funny.
Fucking
when
embarrassing.
Trump said Tim Apple. I love Trump's explanation. Did you see Trump's explanation of why he said Tim Apple?
It was like, yeah, he's like, oh, I was
I combined the words for efficiency.
Fair enough.
It's like, come on.
I retweeted it. I was like, dude's hands are too small to cover his fat ass.
I've always told him Steve Jobs.
That'd be funny.
That'd be fucking funny.
That'd be
Steve
funny.
Jobs.
What's up? Yeah, Steve Jobs, yo.
My
Tim Apple. Are you fucking kidding me?
I combined the words. It's funny.
And he didn't even like realize it. He like did it in stride. He didn't even be like, oh, I meant like, Tim Cook of Apple.
Have explained it. He shouldn't.
No, he should have just left
He
it.
should have just left
You
it.
should just made like he was making fun of him. That'd be funny.
No, he just made himself look like an idiot. He made everyone look stupid.
It looks like before, like people made fun of him. People like to make fun of Trump, right?
But that was actually a fucking dumbass
That's a fun
move.
thing. But he made a mistake, and that happens. So people were gonna make fun of him. But like,
He tries to
it would have
justify
passed.
it.
It would have passed if he just. But he had to make a comment on it, and now it's like.
No,
Now
would
it's
have
like
been.
he's an idiot. But
No,
like,
it's not enough that people are making fun of him. You know, because he is like, haha, he did something stupid. They were gonna say something anyway.
Yeah, that's what people.
Like he could have just let it go, but he's not the kind of guy to just let it go.
He needed to let that one go because it was just so trivial. Like it's not a big deal. He made
Like,
it into a deal.
against everything else that he's done so far,
It's
and
not.
all the things that have come out like against him.
It's nothing.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
Like, he just made it worse.
It's fucking embarrassing.
He just made it worse. I try to give him.
You know what?
slack.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like in school, and it's like someone would like be like sweaty or some shit, and like maybe like they sweat through their underwear, and then like in the locker room, it'd be like, "Yo, did you fucking piss yourself?" And then like that just reminds me. It'd be like, "No, I just sweat." It's like, bro, we're just messing with you. Fucking calm down.
We all sweat.
Everyone sweats.
Like, even,
Everyone like even if he just messed it up, or if he was like, "Oh, I meant." I didn't mean that. I meant like Tim Cook of Apple.
Like people make mistakes. Just own it.
Yeah. It's not. It's no. It's a matter of pride.
I get it. Yeah, I think so.
He's infallible. Our great leader, Chris. Please.
God Emperor to you.
Yeah.
And me.
And everyone.
All of us.
Fucking lard ass. I can't get over the fact that he like fudged the numbers from his physical because he didn't want to appear overweight. He's visibly overweight.
I didn't know that physical knowledge was public domain.
It doesn't need to
Don't think
be
it's supposed to
It's
be.
not. Why do you even have to do a thing about it? Like, why can't he?
because he can't. It's a matter of pride, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a problem. But like, yeah, he's trying. I think.
No.
I hope.
If he was trying, he wouldn't get bogged down with the Tim Apple thing, and he wouldn't get bogged down with the size of his hands or his fucking weight.
I disagree with a lot of things he's done, but I try to give him slack every now and then.
I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's just so goddamn hard.
I have a question on Andrew about policies actually. No, I don't know your. I don't know your. I don't.
Disclaimer: I don't follow politics.
No, this is just a general thing. I know you. I don't know if you active like your stance on global warming and whatnot, but regardless of whether you believe in it, do you think it's okay to like, keep letting companies dump, like in oceans and forests and like deforestation in general? Like how do you feel on that stuff?
Probably not good.
Kind of like it's like people are like, oh, dumping in oceans is bad because you hurt the environment and like global warming. So
I mean,
like, regardless of how you feel like global warming, like I just stop like polluting.
Well,
Stop polluting. I want to be able to go through my a forest, like have a hike, or I want to swim in the ocean without
rule
trash.
of thumb is
It-
not to shit where you eat.
It has to go somewhere, though, is the thing.
Okay, but then how about we don't dump
We can't shoot into
toxic
space
chemicals?
yet, so
Why don't we don't agree to dump
Don't
toxic
shit
chemicals? Or
where
why don't
you
we
eat.
don't say here you can now drill in this national reserve?
Chris, where we dump the toxic chemicals?
Don't make them.
Oh, that's just unrealistic.
Put them in barrels.
That is somewhat unrealistic.
Yeah, right.
Where
Put
do
them in
the
barrels.
But then where do the barrels go?
Get rid of them safely. There's safe ways to get rid of them instead of just dumping them.
Explain one of them.
I'm not a scientist, dude.
How do you know there's safe ways to get rid of them?
Because there's ways to do it. I have a family friend who works for Exxon, and so he's a lawyer for Exxon essentially, and he's in charge of basically the cleanups. And he's like, yeah, Exxon, instead of just like cleaning the place up, they just pay for it. They just pay the damages. They don't bother to clean anything. They just pay for it. And it's like, it's kind of dumb. Like, like I stop. I don't know. I rather have. I don't know. I don't like pollution. Whether you care about global warming or not.
I mean, just like, have you ever just driven through a place where there's just like litter everywhere? It's fucking
Bad.
hard to look at.
It's bad. Like, I don't like. How about we don't dump oil everywhere on tour? I understand that's gonna happen.
Well, I like the fact of the matter is that oil is super lucrative even still, but like
Yeah.
but there's no alternative yet that is
That's widely available.
100% viable. And the other thing is that the they have a lot of these oil barons have our policymakers in their pocket.
Yeah.
Like, do you
that's
think
a
that
problem.
it was? Do you think it's a coincidence that Rex Tillerson was on Trump's cabinet? Like,
Not at all.
like that does. It's not like he
Yeah,
just
it's
he
so
doesn't
corrupt.
actually think that the oil baron knows or cares about the environment. I think he was like head of the EPA or some shit. And
So
even though he stepped down, it's still like
Seems it's really corrupt. Like all the lobbying and stuff.
because everyone's trying to make money. That's what
Yeah.
it is. Like if you can, these oil people have the money, and if you can forward that, like pay it forward, like hey, I have all this oil money, I will donate to your campaign if you deny that climate change is affecting us in any meaningful way.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense. Like any schmuck can put two and two together, but it's not. But unfortunately, all like the people who give a shit aren't currently running for office.
And if you don't mind my asking, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Do you have an actual stance on global warming?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. I like your one-word answers tonight. Actually, no, I don't.
Just say that doesn't sound right.
It's just, I want to hear a statement like, no, I do not.
No.
No.
Do you have a statement on battery life of laptops? I feel like mine's kind of short.
Mine is also short.
I feel like I get like 2 minutes per 1%.
It's probably not wrong, actually. Yeah.
I feel like that's abysmal.
Kind of, but that's kind of the cost we pay for how powerful ours are.
Is that it is just so powerful? It
Yeah.
just doesn't last.
No, you have too many background processes running.
No,
I
it's
have,
not. It's
like,
because it's powering a.
Have you
graphics
opened
card
Task
and-
Manager and turned off System 32?
I deleted it actually.
Because there's like I know at least on my desktop there's a bunch of like background shit running
You
that
understand? You don't have one of these. These take up considerably
yeah,
more
like
power.
what is it, like a 1060, 16 gigs of RAM. There's a lot going on
this
in there.
fucker is retarded.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
You probably get better battery life.
It's probably the
I
one
could
that's
get
better.
good battery life. It's like I only have to charge it once a day, if that. I don't use it a lot, so I only like I can probably go. Sometimes I can go 2 or 3 days without charging it.
I don't use mine enough to give an accurate representation.
I just don't use it without it being plugged in, except in dire situations.
Sometimes in class I won't be close enough to a plug.
The dire situation.
Tired.
I also don't really use it in class these days. So yeah.
Yeah, I've come to appreciate handwritten notes more.
Oh,
than,
yeah, I always do handwritten notes.
Electronic.
Yeah, me too.
But like if like in I have a class like discrete class, and he goes off PowerPoints, so I'll get the PowerPoint on my laptop as well.
Yeah.
And I'll but I still have my notebook out.
Yeah, I've just like I like the handwritten notes
Yeah.
just because I feel like I retain things better because I'm actually physically copying
Yeah, I
the
think
thing.
so too.
I don't like electronic notes at all.
I
I
used
feel
to
like
electronic
I'm already
notes is
staring
easier.
at a screen for like 10 hours a day. Do I really need to stare at it more than I absolutely need to? Like
I just think I remember things better if I write it.
Yeah, me too.
that I've noticed that too.
Just when I don't give a shit how long I stare at a screen for, as I'm going to do it no matter what.
It's also easier to get distracted
That is also
with a
true.
screen.
And I always do.
I have Minesweeper bookmarked, dude. problem. Gets me through econ though, and macroeconomics.
It's a bigger problem in high schools. I didn't actually have to pay attention to pass, so I just like play games every class. And
Now
then
you have
still
to
do
pay
fine.
attention.
Yeah, you do.
Well, for the most part.
Usually, anyway.
Typically.
Actually, yeah, no, I do in my classes at least.
Most of my classes. The ones I can. Some classes are just too early.
Some of my classes are just too goddamn boring.
I feel that.
Also, writing, for me, just writing music by hand I find it easier than using the programs, because the programs aren't intuitive at all. Not in like this, like, it takes years of practice to actually get good, and to be able to tolerate the programs.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's just that there's so many, like, expressive things in the writing that are, like, you have to, like, be very specific with it, and trying to, like, be creative with a thing without actually, like, drawing it in is very difficult.
Can you draw it in?
Yeah,
Is there like a program where like you could write music on paper and then like scan it into like a computer?
Not that I know of,
And, like,
no.
you'd edit it
Because
through
everyone, like, everyone's handwriting is really different.
Well,
And,
I-
like, sometimes, like, the shorthand for writing things is just, like, not as effective.
Is there like a standard, say, alphabet of like music symbols?
Yes, there is.
So if you
but, like,
if you were to write, say, a project using not your shorthand but the standard, I think it would be cool to have like a way to put that into a computer, and then
I
like edit it
guess.
further on like a computer.
it's just some of the
Like,
symbols
to hear it.
are kind of interchangeable. Just because, like, if I'll have, like, say I had, like, 2 parts, but they do the same note. Like, sometimes when you're writing, like, a 4-part thing, you'll have one staff with, like, 2 parts on it, and then another staff with the other 2 parts on it. And sometimes they'll have the same note, and if you put, like, and to indicate that both parts are doing it, you would have the stems go 2 different ways. Like, you have the note head that tells you, like, the pitch and duration, and then, like, the note head telling you which part is singing, or, like, the stem telling you which part is doing it. Does that make sense? And then, like, if they have, like, a shared thing, it might confuse the program. If it sees 2 stems, it might only recognize one of them, and then just not put in the thing for the other.
When you write music with multiple parts, like, how's that?
When I write music with
It's
multiple
like, say you have two,
parts,
say you have like a violin and like a flute.
I would put them on 2 different staffs.
They would be on.
usually.
They would like, because music sheets like lines, right?
Yeah.
So would it be like one group of lines is for the violin, and one group is the flute?
Yeah, that's usually how you would do it, especially, like, with different instrument families.
Dude, now I want to write I want to make a program that scans music. I have to
Do
look
it.
at how you do it.
It's so unbelievably difficult, though. Like, I can understand why
I mean,
the programs all suck, but it's like...
I would try to do it. Like, the way I'm thinking of it is I do like you take like a picture of it or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it looks through like the bars, like the standard, like the blank sheet of paper almost. And then like it tries to just recognize symbols.
There are
from, like,
some...
the standard library.
Yeah, there are
and
some...
then, like from there, put it onto like a digital track.
There are some similar programs, like for vinyl cutters. They'll, like... You print out a page with guides on it, and then you would, like, put your design over it, and then, like, scan it back in. And then it would, like, the vinyl cutter would, like, see, like, the positioning marks and use that as like a map. And you could do a similar thing, I think, with music.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, it's just music. Music is just very difficult. And usually it's like, I'll write, if I need to write out a score, I'll, like, make it using, like a program. You know, I'll, like, write it in, like, whatever DAW I'm using, like the music making program. I'll do it in there, and then I'll translate it to notes and shit in, like, the transcription thing. Or I'll, like, if I have to write it out, I'll just, like, write it out first and then put it in the scoring program. It's a fucking stupid process. It's really difficult. And, you know, there's, like, tons of ways to do shorthand that you don't actually need to, like... You don't always need to turn it into a score for people to be able to understand it.
I'm trying to think I'm still like in my head. I'm trying to think of like a way to just digitalize a sheet.
Yeah, digitizing music is difficult in its current state, just because the technology isn't there yet. I mean, you could probably do like machine learning.
No, I want to do it, but I don't know where I'd start.
You would probably do machine learning and then just like feed it like countless handwritten scores and then like give it like the corresponding digital score, and it could just learn how to transcribe based on that. And then like at that point it would just have like the algorithm for recognizing
Well, if I
notes
was
and
to-
shit, and then
I'd have to give it the score, right? How would I give it the original score, the handwritten score?
scan it. Like use
An
like a
image.
regular document scanner and give it a PDF.
Hmm.
And or like better yet like a JPEG or some shit, like, or a PNG.
Some kind of file. Yeah.
Yeah, you would say give it like an image file of the handwritten score, and then like an image file of a digitized score of the same exact thing with like very clear indicators of like what to do, and then it would just scan the score and turn it into a digital score. But it would be over like it would have to use so many like A/B things. Like here's the handwritten, here's the digital, here's the handwritten, here's the digital, here's the handwritten, here's the digital.
That's not.
And after so many, it's not hard. It's just you would have to acquire
Yeah, I have to get a bunch.
a whole bunch of scores from a bunch of different people because people have different handwriting. Like you would have to collect from professional people who have been writing scores for years. You would have to collect from amateurs in like the high school level who are just learning to write music for the first time. And then like do it like that. There are also different ways to write scores because like film scores are written differently from like a concert score.
I think I'm just gonna go jerk off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to come?
Sure.
You can watch
Love to.
or film or partake. Whatever you like.
Film.
Help him.
Nah, that'd be gay.
No. No.
Nah.
Kind of gay.
No.